guys, and welcome to the Lincoln vs Sunderland playoff semi-final first leg match review. So Sunderland have just lost by 2-0 in this playoff semi-final first leg away from home. Now I did originally predict that we were going to lose this game anyway by 1-0. I thought it would be tight. I think that was largely accurate in some aspects of the game. I do think we made more than enough chances to at least get a goal or two, or maybe even three ourselves. But I think just some tactical decisions and some effort, maybe, or performances from certain players do need to be questioned. So going into the game, we did have Lee Burge in goal. Now at the back, we had Denver Hume starting at left back. O'Nien moving over to right back to accommodate Flanagan, who hasn't played for, of course, a good couple of months now. He went into centre back alongside Bailey Wright. In the middle, we had Scowen and Power. Then we did have Wyke up top, and then in behind Wyke, we had McGeady, we had Gooch, and we also had Jones as well. So looking at that lineup, for me, it was always a massive, massive risk putting Flanagan, should I say, in there after, all that time out. And I can kind of see why he would do it, or why he would want to do it, because we've looked horrendous over the last 7, 8, 9 games defensively. Anyway, we've looked shocking. So maybe putting a natural centre back. But if anything, what I would have liked to see Lee Johnson do is stick Power at right back and then put O'Nien in the middle to give us that bit of energy and tenacity in the middle. Because Power, for me, is just, he has the mobility of a dump truck, of a garbage truck. Do you know what I mean? He was awful, horrendous, and he ended up coming off in the second half. And because he was so anonymous, he was very, very poor, Power. He's just a foghorn with legs. He walks around the pitch at a very, very slow pace and shouts and screams at everyone else and points at what everybody else should be doing, yet offers fuck all himself. Whereas O'Nien, of course, we're desperate for him to get in his real position, which is centre back, and that would have been, centre mid, definitely not centre back. It would have been nice to see him get back in there amongst it in the middle. But either way, if we get into the game and starting off, you can see over the first 10-15 minutes, they look very, very bright, Lincoln. And that was the shocking thing, was it literally took 2 or 3 quick passes and it dismantled our entire team. It really did. And they had a brilliant chance that hit the post. Burge was forced into a couple of half-decent saves, and I thought, we're in for it now. But Lincoln, luckily for us, they did kind of calm their own tempo down a bit, and that just allowed us a bit of possession. But that's all we had. Possession, we're just rolling it across the back. No urgency. We definitely didn't look like we knew that we were playing in a playoff semi-final. It looked like we were playing in a game of no significance at all, because the pace and the tempo of our play, like I said, no urgency. We're supposed to something that Lee Johnson always seems to go back to, is saying how we have this press, we're going to really press teams, and in fact, no, he said world-class press, which is absolutely fucking laughable, because I saw no press of any kind. And to be fair, I keep giving Lee Johnson this little bit of leeway, and this isn't me necessarily saying Lee Johnson out, but I keep giving him this leeway because he hasn't had this, or a week or so on the training ground at all since he's come in. In fact, I think the longest he's had in the training pitches, I think 1 or 2 days, because of how quick and how thick and fast games have been coming. So I thought, okay, we'll give him a full week. Let's see how the team plays today. I was quite excited to see how the team will play, because it'd be good to see him get his ideas on the pitch and into the players over the course of the week. And they look just as shit as ever. Do you know what I mean? There was nothing. There was no game plan at all. Absolutely no game plan. You can tell me all you want. He's no doubt. I haven't even watched the post-match press conference, and I don't really want to be honest with you. But no doubt he's going to start throwing all these trigger words and these posh, clever words to act like he knows what he's talking about. But that was horseshit. There was no game plan at all, other than get it out wide as slow as humanly possible, then just hump it up to Charlie Wyke. And that's all it was. I don't think we had a chance up until the 44th minute where Gooch actually did something. He turned his man and around the edge of the box. Decent effort that bent just wide of goal. And that was it. And that was the first half. Lincoln, like I say, all it took for them is a couple of really quick passes and we're completely done. Second half, we come out and we did really go for it. I will give us that. We did really go for it. But Jones come in, immediately cutting inside from right to left. He hits it towards the near post, and the keeper parries onto the crossbar from the following corner. Bailey Wright, 4 or 5 yards out, free header. He heads it against the bar. So it could have been 2-0 up then, but they go straight up the other end. And to be fair, it's pulled back to their striker. It's point blank range. A great save originally from Burge, but then we have 2 or 3 chances to clear it. We don't. Make an absolute shit out of it, and eventually they bury it home. It's just a scuffle that eventually gets tucked away. 1-0. We're still going for it. We're still... it seems as though we're still in the game somewhat, but we definitely needed a bit of something because, like I say, Power, he contributed nothing. Scowen, I think at times in the first half, he did well in sort of breaking into the play, but then you know what Scowen's like. Even if he has acres of space in front of him, it's like he's got a frigging twitch in his neck. He might move forward with the ball, but he's going like this constantly because he's so goddamn desperate to go backwards. And Power's the same, he's just so like clunky on the ball. His touch is so heavy. He's putting us in so much danger constantly. Flanagan was a liability from start to finish, and this is what I'm thinking. We need a little bit of creativity. Someone who thrives in a hostile atmosphere because the Lincoln fans were creating a good atmosphere for the Lincoln lot, and we only have one player who really does that, and not just thrives on a hostile atmosphere, but is actually a creative player and can be that link between our midfield to the final lot as well, to the final third, because no one else was doing it. But instead, Lee Johnson is being as stubborn as ever, and eventually the second goal is completely our own doing. Flanagan, again, I think, he was at fault for the first goal. He had opportunities to clear it and he messed it up. The second goal, I'm not going to give him 100% of the blame. It was a poor pass back to Burge, but I do think Burge should have done a lot better. He was flat-footed, he didn't anticipate it, and I do think he should have cleared it better anyway, but he sent it straight at their striker, who was bundling it over the line to make it 2-0. We still have plenty of time left to go for it, and Haydn McGeady, to be fair, he was trying to do it all himself at times, and I don't blame him because everyone else was off the ball anyway. They were just walking around. They were making no effort whatsoever. It was piss poor attitude, and it was absolutely disgusting me, if I'm going to be completely honest with you. But again, I'm screaming out for Chris Maguire. Of course, he brings on Ledbetter for Power, which I completely understand. He brings on Stewart, which is fine. But we needed to bring on Chris Maguire, who would have thrived in that atmosphere. He would have got right in their faces, pissed off their fans, pissed off their players, got in their faces, tried to get under their skin, and he can come up with that match-winning quality. But it's gone for a 4-4-2. Hump it up to 2 big lads. It's boring as hell. It's Sunday League. It's shit. And we basically handed them the game to make it 2-0. So, yeah, it ended 2-0. And on another day, yes, you might say that we were a little bit unlucky because we did have chances. We hit the bar a couple of times. We hit the woodwork a couple of times. And maybe 2 or 3 of our efforts, they should have hit the back of the net if it weren't for a very good goalkeeper that they have just brought in, of course. Which was slightly controversial because it's like the 5th, 6th emergency loan keeper we've had to deal with this season. But either way, Lincoln deserved it. Well done to them. We need to go back to our place, and I don't know what to say because I could easily say, we've got a couple of days on the training pitch, but that seems to be doing jack shit with this team. Absolutely jack shit. These players, a lot of them, we know they're not good enough. I'm not going to dress them up and say they are, but they should be doing a hell of a lot better. A hell of a lot better than that. It was a massive risk putting Flanagan in there. Lee Johnson needs to take responsibility for that. But he also needs to, stop being so frigging stubborn and give someone like Chris Maguire a chance. But when it was so blatantly obvious that this game was screaming out for someone of his description, the only play we have of the description and the ilk we needed for today's game, he completely ignored. And that isn't me saying that Chris Maguire is the best player in the world or saying that we would have won the game had Chris Maguire been on there. But give us a chance. Do you know what I mean? Give us a chance. And Lee Johnson didn't do that because he's been so fucking stubborn. And that's it. So we're going to take them back to the Stadium Light. No doubt they're going to sit all men behind the ball. It's going to be an absolute nightmare. And it's just going to be 90 minutes of us lumping balls up to the likes of Stewart and Wyke. And I can imagine him doing that. He's going to play both Stewart and Wyke up top. 2 big lads. He's going to go for a 4-4-2. And we're just going to be lumping balls up all day long. And they're going to deal with it because it's going to be a piece of piss. Because we are so easy to defend against. And I can see that being exactly the case in the next leg, unfortunately, unless he comes up with something a bit more clever than the words he just comes out with in his post-match interviews. But that's it for me. Apologies if I've probably rambled on, probably contradicted myself a few times, but I'm just frustrated. I couldn't even really be asked making this review, if I'm honest with you. Just so deflated. I expected so much better from the lads. It was just a very hopeful, poor performance. But again, fair play to Lincoln. They deserved it. Well, that'll be it, guys. Let me know down below what you thought of the game, if you did watch it, of course. And take care, and I'll see you in the next video.